Uh, Man, it won't let me go. Alright, hold on.
No, it put it in paranormal too, Terry.
What was that?
I think part of the beginning, part of the.
On. Hey, first of all, this is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. And I'd like to say a quick shout out to all the fathers out there. Hey, happy Father's Day, guys. Hey, man, keep up the good work. I'd rather hear that word father than daddy any day. So, hey, I really appreciate all the work that you guys doing. Continue taking care of those kids, man. Continue. Hey, one thing I learned in all my years of life is cheaper to keep them. It's cheaper to keep them. So, hey, but today we are, man. I drove up to Kansas. It took me about 14 hours to get there. I'm just kidding. It didn't take me 14 hours to get there. But we are in Emporia, Kansas, to visit Flint Hills Paranormal. How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
Doing great.
Excited for tonight.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate you guys coming on the show. I know it's Father's Day, and I know you guys are out barbecuing and doing all the things for the dads. So I really appreciate you guys taking your time out and coming on the show, man. I really do. And let's go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Okay. That's you.
I am Brandy, and I am the co-founder of Flint Hills Paranormal. So I got interested in the paranormal. I had experiences as a young child, seeing spirits and communicating with them. So when the TV shows came out, I was like, hey, you can really do this. So the rest is kind of history. So that's how I got started.
I'm Linda Clark. I had a near-death experience when I was about 7 years old, and so ever since then I've been really interested in this whole area, why that happened and what did I see and all that kind of stuff. And so I've been very much involved with this. Probably 30 years ago I started working with different people on different paranormal groups, and we started this group about 7 years ago. Brandy, and I'm the co-founder too. Brandy and I were in Topeka with a group up there and decided it was much easier just to stay home instead of driving to Topeka. So we started the group here, and we're just thrilled with it.
Okay, cool. How many members do you guys have?
We actually have 12.
12.
But since it's Father's Day, it's kind of difficult to get people together today.
Well, I understand that. So I'm thinking the rest of your team is probably gentlemen or men.
Oh, no.
What?
Actually, we only have 2 men on the team.
Oh, wow.
But all the women are probably cooking.
Go ahead, Cheryl.
Oh, I'm Cheryl, and I've been on the team maybe 6 years
6
now.
years.
I'm one of the lead investigators, and I've just always been interested in the paranormal since I was a child, and since I've been on this team, and I'm starting to realize that I have some abilities that are starting to open. I'm starting to make a lot of connections to things that I did in my childhood, and I'm thinking that it's probably been there all along. I just as you grow up, you tend to not believe in that stuff. So I think, Terry popped in there. So I think it's really neat as things come up and I make that connection. It's like, I'm meant to be here on this.
Okay. That's cool. Hey, like I say, man, thanks for having you guys on the show today. I'm just gonna jump right into it. How is Kansas? Small state. Is that is there a lot of things going on there?
Yeah, it's rectangular, kind of.
Very warm this time of year.
Yeah, something ate the corner off at the top, but
Probably an angry spirit, we assume.
Kansas, it's kind of warm this time of year, humid. We've had some storms yesterday, I guess, through Kansas and headed down your way. It wasn't our fault, but yeah.
I feel like I'm not taking part in none of that.
No, I'm sorry.
We didn't do it.
No, we didn't do it.
Who didn't do it?
There won't be any houses falling on y'all down there, so.
Wow.
Well, one of the interesting things is that they have found that through the central part of the United States,
Mhm.
that there seems to be a heck of a lot of paranormal stuff that goes on. I know the East has their old stuff.
She's just making comments.
Yeah, it's very haunted. Lots of stuff going on here. We don't have any trouble finding places to investigate.
Okay.
Because
Cool.
it's popular for these haunted locations.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
Kansas is popular for its haunted locations. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got
Yeah.
like the Sally House and some places like that that are really well known.
Okay. Now, hey, you mentioned a location. Let's jump right into that one because that was the first question that I have for you guys. What's the deal with the Sally House?
Well, Brandy and I and another couple of members went up there. We spent the night up there, had some really interesting things, but none of it was terribly scary. One of the things, one of our members was very ill, laid down on the couch to rest a little bit. And we had the SLS camera out, and there was a little figure that stayed right on his head. And it stayed there for a long time. We went upstairs, came back down, it was still there. And by morning, he was all better. But Brandy,
Oh, wow.
yeah, Brandy had a really great, you can see that video. It's on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Parannormal. If you look under the videos, you can find that. But Brandy had a really cool thing that happened to her and another member.
Yeah, we got there. It was probably, I don't know, maybe this time of year. So it was getting dark pretty late. So we needed to put blackout curtains around. And as we were doing that, we were like, I don't know, like 8 tacks short or something like that to
Mm-hmm.
get the last of them in. And so we left the room to go look, and we came back, and there were the exact amount of tacks just lined up for us, just waiting for us. So the spirits were ready. That was a really fun experience.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Now,
They were like, here you go.
yeah, the history of that place is so crazy because
Yeah.
you hear so many different stories of what actually happened.
Yes, it's kind of funny because one of the other team members, Kathy and I, we've been friends a long time, and we went up to the Sally House before we even joined the team, and
Mhm.
we investigated it up. We're breaking up. Can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah.
I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, that's no breaking up for us at all.
All right. Anyway, we went on the investigation there, and it was really interesting. At first, when we pulled up in front of it, I'm like, that's it. That's not like what they show on TV, because it's a tiny little house.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Teeny tiny. But we didn't feel or find anything that was dark, like what they picture on TV.
Yeah, because the history of the place, there's a little girl. Now, there's so many. Are you guys from Kansas originally?
Yeah.
Okay, what actually happened in that house with the doctor?
I'm not really that much up on it, but I believe that he was a stepfather. Is that correct? And the little girl, he didn't like her at all. And,
Okay.
And he decided to do a surgery on her. Her something to do with her appendix. And so he decided to do surgery on her, and he didn't use any kind of medication or anything to help her out. And she died. And
Wow.
because of his treatment and all of that, she came back and was very angry with him and generally men that come into the house as well.
Hmm. You know, because the strangest thing is,
Creepy.
you guys ever watch Unsolved Mysteries?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they did they did a little story about that house, and it was totally different from what you guys are telling me.
I know it's so
Yeah.
it's interesting. The
I mean,
tales
it's
just get
crazy.
passed around.
Yeah, I mean, if this house coming, it's turned into one big urban legend.
It has.
It is.
It's going from one to another to another. Now, from what I heard, is the doctor was there. There was a lady that took care of the place, which was like a not a nanny. She was like, anyway, they ended up having an affair and ended up having a kid. Have you guys heard this one before?
I think I
I was
have.
going to say, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Ended up having a kid, and the kid was biracial. So they wanted to keep that hidden. But as the kid grew up and wanted to explore the house more, the doctor continued doing his practicing his medicine in the house. You know, so eventually the little girl came downstairs and said, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy," and the patient was wondering, well, hey, why is this little black kid is calling you daddy? You know, so eventually the kid got sick. I think was pneumonia, the flu, or one of those.
Something. It was something like that, like the flu
Yeah,
or something like that. Yeah.
and the doctor couldn't do anything for her, so she passed away. Now the mom also caught the flu or the pneumonia, and the same thing happened to her. She also passed away in the house. And you know, and I'm like, whoa, dude. I mean, I've heard so many different stories about that.
Yeah, you're going to. The only scary thing that really happened was I was in the basement coming up the stairs with the camera equipment and stuff, and I thought I heard maybe a cord was bouncing behind me as I was going up the stairs, and I turned around and there wasn't anybody there. So I shot up the stairs very quickly.
Her eyes like she's like hauling up the stairs.
The basement was creepy.
It was.
It was creepy.
Oh wow! You know, that little town really doesn't have much, but it does have one of the most famous houses in America history.
Atchison is very, very haunted. Lots of activity in Atchison because it's such a little town.
Would you contribute that? I mean, would you contribute most of that activity to Native Americans?
Some of it might be. I think
Just about everything.
just about
It's
everything.
an old town
Yeah.
too. And
A lot of old houses still there, so you know there's a lot of spirits that are still there because they want to be or stuck there, or yeah.
You know, Kansas is back in the 1800s, this was a wild place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the cattlemen
Wild
came
West.
through and they had saloons and little bar ladies and the whole thing, and nobody was treated well. And so there's a lot of not real happy spirits that are still hanging around.
Okay. Have you guys ever been to Wichita, Kansas?
Yeah.
I'm from there, yeah.
You're from this. Okay. Me and you need to talk because my son went to Friends University there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what is that main street right there in front of Friends University? Because there's another college on the left, and there's Friends on the right if you're going west.
Yeah, Newman's on the other side of the road. Kellogg is the road.
But Kellogg goes the
Yeah, Kellogg. Okay, now
highway, yeah.
there is, as you coming into Wichita, and you right before you make that right, the downtown area, there's a old um, hotel. I can't think of the name of it. I can't. There's an old hotel right there. Me and my wife got, for, and we didn't even know the history of it. Old hotel. I can't think of it. It might be an old Best Western. I'm not sure, but this place would have that 1960, 1970, 1950. It still had that whole feel.
Right off the highway, yeah.
Yeah, right off the highway.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think all of that stuff's
downtown.
gone. Isn't
No,
it?
it's still there.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, because we saw a lot of homeless people right there on that corner.
Right downtown.
Oh, okay. You're downtown.
Yeah, close to downtown. But anyway, did you guys know that that hotel is very haunted? Back in the day, let me give you a little history. Back in the day, it used to be a place where the Kansas City crime boss, or was it Kansas City crime boss? I think he would come there back in the 50s, and that he will go and mingle with all the prostitutes that were there. Okay. So one night he got mad at this one prostitute, third floor. He threw her out the window.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh wow.
no.
Threw her out the window, and the way this place is set up is, how the place where you go wash all the linen, it's outside. It wasn't inside the building. So she actually hit the laundry area, bounced off of that and hit the concrete.
Oh, wow.
Ugh.
Yes, and the room that this all happened in was room 312,
Huh.
third floor.
Yeah.
And what's so crazy about it, they turned that entire room.
When you add it all together, that's the number 6 when you add those 3, 1, 2 together.
Yeah, they turned
6.
the paranormal is so bad in that room. They turned that whole room into like a big linen closet. They took the numbers off the door, so you'll never find, if you were looking for
you'll
it.
never find room 312 no more, huh?
Yeah, you wouldn't find it.
That's awesome.
So yeah, if you guys.
So the spirits can have their own clean sheets just right there.
Right. So if you guys,
Decent.
if you guys ever chance to go to Wichita, check that place out, man.
Yeah, for sure. Just
The
not-
night auditor, I don't know if she's still there, but she told us the whole history of the place.
Oh, wow.
And it was pretty cool. I forgot her name. It's been like 3 or 4 years. But yeah, that you definitely got to check. That's one of the most places that people really don't know nothing about, but the history is there, and clearly the hauntings are there too.
Yeah.
I've had people. Somebody was knocking on my door, and I told my wife, I said, "Get up and answer the door. I'm asleep." And she looked through the peephole, but didn't see nobody.
Oh my
So-
goodness.
They knocked on the door again. Okay, my wife was like, "Nah, man, I'm not Terry. Get up and answer the door." I got up, opened the door, was nobody. I just thought it was somebody that was drunk, who couldn't find their way, went down the hallway. So I'm like, okay, well, the minute I turned around to go jump back in the bed, they knocked again. And this time I opened up the door and I went across the hallway and I knocked on their door. And and the guy, and I opened up the guy and I said, "Hey, well, you need something? You just knocked on the door?" He said, "No. I was about to come ask you the same thing."
You had a visitor.
Exactly.
They both had visitors.
And I'm like, whoa. Hey, quick shout out, guys, right quick. Hey, Annette, appreciate you joining the show. Virgil Kane, hey, man.
Hey,
Appreciate you popping in from Manchester.
Hi. Hi, Virgil.
How you doing, man? It's probably, what time is it over there? Probably like 3 a.m. over there. Hey, appreciate you coming on the show, brother. I really do.
They have a lot of hauntings over there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
We've
definitely.
actually been down to Wichita several times for different investigations down there, private and one that will be public.
Ah, okay. Now, are you guys? Let's talk a little bit about the team. Who's the founding? Who's the founding member?
Brandy
We
and I.
co-founded it.
Okay. Are you having hard times? I know you got 12, but I know you don't always have 12 because people come and go. You know what I'm saying? Is it hard for you guys to find members, that want to join you guys' team if need be?
Well, there's always people that want to join us, but the fact is that we are really special together, and so we look for those people who can work real well with each of us. We're kind of like a big family. We've got each other's back all the time, and we all have different talents. We have 3 really fantastic mediums. We've got Brandy, myself, and another is an empath. Cheryl's got some talents. You put all of these together, and we've got a heck of a team that when we go out to investigate something, we get together later and we talk about things and we can get the whole picture of what's going on there. So it's we're very, now we don't have trouble getting people wanting to join us. The problem is that, we have to unfortunately not just let anybody join us.
It has
There
to
you
be
go.
fit. We're a very, very
Yeah.
professional team. We are so unlike what you see on TV with, people jumping around and screaming, and
It's so annoying.
yeah, and it's annoying because it makes
It's like-
it makes the whole area look bad. Those
Yeah.
shows,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
You hear something, be quiet.
yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
stop and scream and say, "Did you hear that?"
Right.
Maybe like, yeah, so shut up.
Hey, that sounds like somebody on my team.
Yeah, we're
All
really
right. Well,
confidentiality and things like that.
who?
I'm a
who-
counselor. We've got another counselor. We've got empaths, and so we work with our clients in a whole different way than a lot of teams would.
Yeah, we
Okay.
take a holistic approach to the client instead of just paranormal. It's everything from mental health to physical health to the paranormal, so that we take care of the whole client, not just what might be going on in their home.
Okay. Well, give me a percentage of the cases that you guys have that are more mental than actual haunting.
You might
Yeah.
be able to.
I would say, well, when we're going to do an individual case, I go through a very strenuous questionnaire, and that
Mhm.
has to do with the area. Is it stone house? Is it wood? Is it near a cemetery? Those kind of things. And then about their own personality, I kind of do a little psychological test with them. And then we talk about medications and mental health issues and religious beliefs and those kind of things, and then what's going on in the house. And we can put all of that stuff together. We're still trying to work on this, but you put all this together and you get a real good idea of what's going on there. And you're talking about a percentage. I can't give you a real percentage, but I can tell you that quite often there is some mental health issues in the house. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with mental health. Mental issues at all. But I am saying that I think that somehow these folks are more sensitive to
Yeah.
what's going on in their environment, just like little kids are. They're real sensitive until they grow up and get better. And it's kind of the same thing. If you have some mental health issues, I think you're very, very sensitive. And then maybe over time, as your medication works and whatever, you kind of lose that over time.
I think also, like, if you have mental health issues and are not medicated, you're more vulnerable.
You're very
Too.
much so.
So I think that that's easier then for the spirits to, try to drop in and hang around.
Yeah, we definitely don't want that. I think if somebody, like you're saying, somebody has a mental issue, then you do have that, circumstance where somebody do jump in and hang around, I think
Mhm.
that just adds everything, 5 to 10 fold on the situation that he or she is dealing with.
Yeah.
So hey, pretty good, man. Pretty good. You guys are, man, Kansas.
Right in the middle.
Right in the
Okay,
middle of everything.
how far are you guys from the closest city? What's the next major city
Next
Two
from
time.
you
hours,
guys?
hour and a half to 2 hours. The great thing
Hour and a half.
about Florida,
Okay,
we
so
are in the middle,
you
literally.
guys don't. So you guys don't have any problems bumping into other paranormal teams, then?
No, no. Wichita has quite a few. Kansas City obviously has a bunch of them. And then there's several that are just scattered across the state.
Mm. Now, have you guys ran any teams? Because I hear this a lot, especially down here in Texas, and we've talked about this, that claim a certain haunting location. You Now the team don't own it, but they claim it because it's in their neighborhood. Have you guys came across anything like that before?
There's really not enough teams here to really be too territorial.
Right.
I mean, not really, and I think the ones that are here are pretty respectful. So, like, if you came to Emporia and set up a whole event, we might be like, hey, how can we team up or something? But there's that really not enough of us here to clash that much.
Okay. Now, is there a decline in paranormal investigators, or you think there's a
I would say,
rise?
yeah, we've seen some teams here retire recently that we would work with and refer cases to, and as you well know, it's a lot of work. I
Yeah.
mean, for every like hour of investigation, you've got at least 2 hours of work
Yeah.
on
You,
our
you're
end.
not kidding on that.
So,
Just the one thing about paranormal investigating is it's like a full-time job.
yeah,
But,
you asked
but
Linda that.
I mean, but the only thing that you're not gonna get paid for it,
No,
but you're gonna get that satisfaction,
Mhm.
and
That's
I
all
love
it
that
is.
satisfaction.
Is to help people.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. I mean, if you want to donate, you can donate. I mean, I'm with that. I mean, it's not gonna go in my pocket; it'll go back in the team's fund.
correct.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, I mean, I'm all about helping people. And just seeing them smile and say, "Well, thank you for helping me."
Yeah.
If I am able to help. Speaking of help, what kind of paranormal investigators are you guys? Are you guys the type that come in and okay, we do got a little something going on here. You guys do the validation, or do you guys do the cleansing part and deal with the dark side if it needs be?
Yeah, we are there to help the client, but also help the spirits as well. It doesn't just, we're not just there to help the living, we're also there to help any spirits. And if they, we do what the client, wants most of the time. If the spirits want to stay and the client's okay with that and they're not harmful, then they stay. But we help others cross that want to go, and we've done that quite a bit. We've cleansed houses. We don't really come across much, of the dark stuff. I mean, I know a lot of people think that's probably a lot of it. Most of it is just spirits that want help or that want someone there to know that they're there because they're, relative or they used to own the house or something.
Okay. Well, you know what? It seems like my buddy down here got a lot of questions to ask, so I'm going to turn it over to her. Missy, it's all yours.
Oh, I had a lot of questions.
Okay.
That's psychic bone kicking in, Hunter.
I don't know about that one.
Oh, you guys. Yeah, knowing that you guys are in such a highly active region, being in the Midwest like that, which all Midwest is very active with paranormal activity. And I agree with you guys about dealing with the spirits and the entities that are present and showing themselves are not always dark energy. People misinterpret that and think
Yeah.
that everything comes from something dark and evil because they
Yeah.
encountering something. Oh, it's got to be evil. It's got to be bad. I feel the energy is bad.
Yeah, it scares
You're like-
them. So
It's like, wow, calm down, calm down.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's just grandpa tickling their feet, wanting them to know that he's there. You know.
Exactly. Or it's a child spirit and they're being playful and they're taking it as something serious, like, oh my God, this is an evil presence there. You know, do you guys when you're going to people's homes and you're helping them cleanse that energy out of their home, are you when you talk with them during the process, you let them know that their spirit is not evil, it's just the what the spirit's intentions are and why they're there, and it's a family member or someone who used to occupy that same space, or maybe it's a burial ground from Native Americans or something like that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we never just go in and investigate and then leave and that's it. You know, because there's still, like they said, a lot of work to be done.
Mhm.
You know, we make sure that the client knows what's going on, and we always get footage and things put together to give them in a couple weeks.
the client, well, most of the time is with us. And then what we do is we go around the house and we find places where there's energy. And then after that, then we'll sit down in those areas and we try to communicate with whatever it is. And so the client is right there. And quite often it is a relative or somebody there. And then they can actually talk to them. And that helps so much. They understand that this is not something that's negative or going to hurt them in any way.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of times like nothing will happen, but when we get the client in there, then things start happening and the spirit comes through because that's who they're wanting to talk to. They don't care about us. They don't know who we are, you know.
Exactly.
But they're wanting to talk with whoever lives there. And so that person is very helpful if they are able to be there.
You guys are one of the most different investigating team that I've ran across. Because you have all these talented people with gifts on your team. You have it from all different angles. You have empaths, you have mediums, you have all the different people who are coming into their gifts. Some people who are established within their gifts. So you guys are like hitting all the plus signs and bringing all the bells here, which is rare because most people that are starting their little team together, they're new to it, and usually they're skeptics and they're going there to kind of like prove themselves wrong, so they're looking at it from a whole different perspective than what you guys are doing. So you guys are going in a more holistic way, which I love that.
We've got a couple of skeptics on the team,
and that's okay. We need that.
It's good though to have a couple of skeptics on the team. That's great. But when you have a whole team of skeptics and nobody to be
you don't. That's
the reasoning voice in that group, to say, okay.
Well,
then
you have too many skeptics that are kind of blocking the energy too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what,
right.
You guys got an extra skeptic, you can send him down to Texas. Because I definitely need one on my team.
You need an extra skeptic, Terry?
Yeah, I need one because they're hard to find down here, man. I mean, I've been looking. But, most of the people down here just want to, like everybody else, like, hey, I want, can I join the team? I just want, and then we'll find out that, they just want to be on the team just to scratch that name off the bucket list.
Yeah.
Just to have fun, just to go do something scary or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm not for that. I'm looking for someone that's in it for the long haul. And not to find somebody or just to say that they did it. I mean, that's horrible.
Yeah, we respect the spirits very much and let them know that.
Yes. We always introduce ourselves to the spirits and let them know who we are, that we're not there to make them leave because some, they really want to stay. We're not going to, hurt them or harm them. We come with respect and we let them know that.
Do you guys
because
go with the same script that most paranormal investigators go with?
I'm
You
sorry.
know that
I missed the first part.
the same script that most paranormal investigators go into investigation with. Do you guys use that same script that we see on all the TV shows, on all the streaming YouTube channels, and all that? I
Not
hope
really. We do ask if there's anybody here that would like to talk with us, and we've got a lot of equipment, lots of different equipment that we use. SLS cameras, we've got SB11s. I mean, a whole bunch of different arrays of EMF equipment that can pick up activity and stuff.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
speaking of your
If they
equipment,
wanna-
what is your some of your favorite equipment to use on your investigations?
Well, we use the K2s just about all the time. We've got REM pods. I love the SLS.
Yeah.
That is just like, oh my gosh, look at that's
You
something
see
there.
them, yeah. Recorders. I mean, your cameras, phone cameras. So we use a lot of the standard equipment.
And dowsing rods too.
Yeah, dowsing
and
rods.
maybe pendulums sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes the spirits prefer to communicate through dowsing rods instead of the electrical. Sometimes nothing electrical will go off. One
Exactly.
of our battery operated things will go off. It will be through dowsing rods or some other
Mhm.
way. So it's really interesting.
Now, I can tell you a little story. There was a lady that wanted me to come up to her house. She lived up by Lawrence. She was having a little ornery kind of spirit. She would go out, take the dog out, and it would lock the doors at night on her. If it was hot, it would turn on the heater. If it was cold, it'd turn on the AC. Just being ornery. So I went up with everything, all of my equipment. I tried everything, got nothing. And so we sat down. I was going to try the rods, and I gave them to her. And we were going through, has anybody in your family passed away recently? And said, well, my aunt, nothing happened. My grandmother, nothing happened. And I said, is there anybody else? And she said, well, a while back, I lost a baby. And she said, do you think that could be it? And I said, I don't know. Go ahead and try it. And she said, is this my baby? And whoop. And right crossed him just immediately. And we started talking with the baby and said, you got to stop that.
Like your mommy outside.
So we thought we had it handled. I went home. About 2 weeks later, she said, it's all started again. So I went back up there and I took the SLS this time. And on our Facebook page, if you go to the videos, you can see this video, but it has her talking with her baby. The little baby is right there on the SLS, trying to crawl up into her hand and just hugging her and stuff. It's the coolest thing ever. But she ended up being a team member. She's a very talented psychic. And she occasionally we would be doing an investigation and this little stinker would be there just causing trouble.
And have an extra spirit hanging around, and we'd have to ask if it was her child, and yes, it was along for the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do that. They do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
And then, some people think that it's real easy to just get a spirit out and make them gone. But you can't force them.
You can't.
We have Terry that's on our team is a Apache Native American.
Yeah.
And so she has a lot of different ways of going about removing spirits too.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've got a variety of ways of doing that.
Yeah, you got a very diverse group of people on your team. How many people goes on an investigation per se?
Well, at least 6 or 7. One of the reasons, yeah, we try to get as many people as we can there. Depends on the house. If it's a small house, we try to just take a few people.
Yeah.
But we did a university in Wichita, can't tell you where, a few weeks ago.
Hey, I can tell. I could probably guess which one it was.
Okay, go. Okay. But we had the whole team down there, and it was just great.
Nice. Nice.
Wow. Okay. Cool. You know what, guys? A lot of people, a lot of paranormal investigators on the planet. Most of us use the same equipment. You know, have you guys thought about, you know, doing something a little bit different that would attract more attention to yourselves? You know, on the equipment that you guys use.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, okay. Well, let me say it like this. There's a million paranormal investigators out there, and most of us use the same equipment.
Right.
Okay. Have you guys ever thought about changing the way that you guys investigate?
Well, we've been very, very successful with what we use now. But sure, we would be open to using anything.
Yeah, we're open to try new things. So.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, me myself, I am a.
He's an inventor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Cool.
Hey, why are you spoiling things? You know,
Teamwork make the dream work, buddy.
There you go.
you know, I am an inventor. I'm not. You know what? I'm not. I can't call myself an inventor.
You're
You know-
creative.
Or you can.
No.
Yeah,
Because inventors invent things that change the world.
Well, Terry, if you share some of those, you could.
Yeah.
I mean, I could, but you know,
Yeah,
it would take
selfish.
You have a creative mind.
He's an inventor. He is an inventor, and he comes up with all these wonderful ideas.
Oh,
He's just
cool.
not willing to share those ideas.
Well, you know,
He'll
Okay.
show them to you. He won't tell you how he did it or where you get it with the idea from. He's just like, this, no.
okay, guys. All right. Who's the camera tech? Who's the individual that holds the camera? Go like this. Say, hey, I hold the camera.
I hold the camera.
Okay, so you're a camera guy, right? So you know you're like this, right?
Camera
Yep.
woman. Camera.
You're like this. Okay, so when you're watching, you're using this camera, and you hear something that goes. What is the first thing that moves on your body?
Probably like my hand. So I always have my camera. I don't hold it. I have my camera on a tripod. But go ahead. That didn't answer your question.
Are you sure? The first thing that you move, the
Yeah.
first thing that moves on your body is your hand.
Yeah.
Your mind would not let your hand move. The first thing that would move on your body would be your head.
Turn around. Yeah.
Exactly. So when you hear something or when your kids drop something, what is the first thing that moves? What are you guys doing? It'd be your head, right?
Yeah.
So what happens when you turn your head? You see it. What you see? What exactly that you thought that you heard? You see it right there. So you're frozen. You're like, oh my God, look at this, what I'm capturing here. But in the meantime, where's your camera?
Over here. Pointed
Your
towards
camera is right there. So it actually takes it takes a minute for your mind, for your mind to react, your hand to turn that camera. I'm not gonna say it's gonna take a minute. It takes a couple of seconds.
Sure.
That's just the way our bodies are.
Yeah, but by then it's gone.
By then it's too late.
There you go. Give me a high five. Give me a high five. Yeah, so by then it's gone. So I've came up with a solution that would take all that away.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know what? I'm gonna, since I said I was gonna send these to my favorite my favorite co-host, and I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna use these for an example.
Don't break them.
Hey, I'm
Oh,
not gonna break
glasses?
these.
Does that have a little camera in them?
Yes.
They have the camera right there.
That's
So
so
when-
cool.
fantastic.
That's brilliant.
So when you put them on, bam.
Not only do you look like Zach,
We're
Who
gonna
is Zach?
the frames.
Oh no, you didn't.
Mm,
She did.
I look like Zach on Ghost
Come
Adventures.
back, huh?
just the frames that look like his glasses.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I wish I was making that money like him.
yeah, no kidding, right?
But if I was him, I would keep it legit. I wouldn't go. I mean, I don't know what they're doing, but that's another story. A couple of minutes from now. So yeah, these glasses are the perfect ones for you guys to wear, and it eliminates the use of a camera. Yeah, no more camera. You turn your head, you're able to catch that evidence before you turn the camera.
Does that go to your phone or what?
Oh, everything's SIM card based. Everything comes in the SIM card.
Even better.
So you get 2.5 hours worth of audio and video with these things.
Wow.
Wow.
Now, does any of you guys wear glasses?
Well, I should.
Yeah, I
So
I do sometimes especially when I'm on an investigation because I need to see distance and gotta
right.
be on my toes.
So you can take these to your local eye doctor, and have your lenses retrofitted for these particular glasses.
Wow.
very cool. I love that.
So yeah, and I've got
a police body camera that attaches.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if that works fairly well. But I love this idea. That's great.
But check it out though, body cameras.
Yeah,
You got to treat a body camera. Body cameras. I've heard a lot of people say, they want to use those, and I see a lot of people that wants to use the little GoPros.
Mm-hmm.
But if I stand up right now and turn, my body is not going to turn.
Right.
Only my head.
Right.
Right.
So that having a GoPro will not help. It will not solve your problem for you.
Yeah, I love that idea. I think that's great.
You know what I'm saying? So the minute you turn your head, but your GoPro is still that way. So not only if you turning your hand, you have to turn your hands. You will literally have to turn your whole torso.
Yeah. So where do we buy these?
Classified information.
Well, when you're ready to declassify it, let us know.
That's why I want to be. Now, what century are we in?
21st.
21st century?
Yeah.
I want to be that 22nd century paranormal investigator
Yeah, great idea.
that brings everything that the 19th century. I want to throw all of that out the window. I want to put that in a museum.
Yeah.
So where the way we used to investigate, we don't do that anymore. It sounds like fun, but that's not the way that we would want to focus on coming into the 22nd century.
Right.
We're stuck in the 21st century.
We're always
what I'm
looking for new kinds of things that can enhance what we do.
Exactly. Now, I can always tell you guys, if you guys were to get these glasses that I have sitting right here, I got 5 pair. Don't you know I got glasses for each thing or each whatever that your camera has. You got infrared, you got 4K, 1080p, what is that other one? There's another one. For everything that you have on your cameras, those big bulky things that you guys have, I have in this small case.
Wow.
Wow. That
You know
is
what I'm saying?
fantastic.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I have in this small case, and I'm not saying that, I'm not bringing this up to mess with you guys about. I just want you guys to know that people are thinking of new ideas and new ways to investigate, and try to kick these old ways. And don't get me wrong, I was like that too. But I also was in my mind of thinking of new ways that I can do things and get the evidence that I want, and be as free as I can. I'm not using these anymore. I can use these for other devices.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like this thing right here. This right here is actually another camera.
Oh, cool.
Camera here.
So go around your head.
You go around your head.
Nice.
Right here is your light.
Oh, cool.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah, so you got your camera here, you got your light here.
I
Now
like it. Yeah.
you can use these either way. But the only problem that I have with this is when I did my experiment is this camera sits on my left side. So, I mean, to me, it's just like holding a camera in his hand. Because once you turn your head, what you see with your eyes, this camera is still turning.
Right. You still have a blind spot.
You still got that blind spot.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
declassified. I'm giving these away.
It's a good light though. The light, show the light, Terry. The light is like super bright. Like it'll light up.
Oh, yeah, the light will light you up.
Oh, that is nice and bright.
Yeah, nice and bright.
That'll light up the whole room.
And not only that, you got another light. So you're actually able to have multiple lights. And the only thing is, you still got that blind spot.
Yeah.
You're
You know what
right,
I'm
because
saying?
unless the camera's here, that wherever the camera is, it's not going to be exactly where you're looking. Maybe it might be up too high, it might be down too
Right.
low,
Mhm.
unless it's right here. Yeah, that
Right.
makes sense.
There you go. So this has been declassified, guys.
Well, thank you.
Declassified.
We're honored.
That will go in the museum.
Definitely. Just like I'm putting the cat balls in the museum. Yeah, they're gonna go.
I like the cat
Yeah.
balls. Aw.
Yes, those are fun.
We actually had a little girl play with one of the cat
I
balls.
mean, they're fun, but how easy are they for someone to manipulate?
That's why we put it away from our group, and we make sure it's an area where it won't accidentally roll. Yeah, you got to be really careful because we
You gotta
make
be really
sure
careful.
that things don't accidentally happen or manipulated by us. That's for sure.
We try to debunk everything too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we don't want.
Real. You
Yeah,
know, it's got to be real.
Yeah, or why are you in it? You know.
yeah, we don't want that, and we don't want that little bitty. Because those cat balls, they're great to use. I applaud people who made them. They are great to use, but the minute that you open up a door or you get that small draft, it's going to activate. And bam, there goes a spirit. Somebody's spirit touched the spirit ball. Bam, there, yeah. Okay.
Well, but now then is when you start asking questions and see if it gives you intelligent responses back or if it was just a fluke.
Okay, that's good one.
Right.
Good one. I like that. I like that response you just gave
So
me.
you keep going. You
Yeah.
don't just go with the first thing that happens. You keep going.
Yeah, I respect that. But you want to have that because there's always that one skeptic out there that can debunk that cat ball.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
You want that one ball out there that you can honestly say that somebody touched it, somebody activated it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
why it's good to have other pieces of evidence that help back it up. Like with some of our team members, they can
Mhm.
see someone standing there. Like when this happened with the ball, they could see a little girl spirit standing there. And I mean, there were several different things that helped corroborate that was really what was happening there.
Mhm.
Okay. Good.
But do
Okay,
you
good
have
answer.
something that you invented that's better?
I got something that's a little bit better. Now,
Let's see it.
now, have you guys ever been? I mean, Missy's probably heard me say this a million times. You guys got a Five Below up there in Kansas? You guys can go to.
In Topeka, yeah.
And there's going to be one here in Emporia.
Oh,
there
nice.
is.
Over, yeah.
Yeah, apparently we're getting one.
You know, that's the biggest place. That's the biggest place you can go for paranormal for paranormal equipment.
I've never even been in there.
I've got some good books from there before about paranormal.
You can go there, man. You can get just about anything you need. Now, what I have is I have a normal baseball. Actually, it's in my car because we had an investigation They used it for an investigation last night. You know, let me see if I can find something that it might be. It's about the size of this cup,
Okay.
and you literally would have to beat it on a wall for it to activate. It doesn't activate real easy, but when it activates, it's big and it's bright. You know what I'm saying? So you really want something because you really want that.
Got ridges on it, so draft from the door opening or window opening is not going to make it start rolling either.
Yeah. And and guys, have you ever been to a real old place?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You set the ball down and it rolls in a corner.
No, not quite. This ball here is the size of a softball. It's in my van.
It's a
It's the
baseball.
size of a softball.
It's a baseball, Terry. It's a baseball.
Oh, a softball.
Yes, a
Yeah.
baseball. It's a
It's
baseball. But it's got these ridges, deep ridges on it. Like you want that thing to roll, you gotta put some force on it. It gotta be some real force.
Yeah, you
It
gotta put
ain't
some
gonna be a
force.
breeze of wind can make that roll. No breeze of wind. Not even a industrial size fan can make that thing roll. Not even that. It has to be
Yeah.
a real strong force to move it, like either a human force or a strong spirit. It ain't gonna
So
just
where can we purchase one of these?
Classified information.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
Okay, but this ball here, the one Missy's talking about, you're right. You can't. It actually takes a lot of force. I can actually hit it against the wall, and it probably won't activate. But if you put some force behind it, it will come on. It will activate, and that's no problem. But this big softball here is red, and guess what, guys? It talks.
yeah.
That's cool.
What does it say?
Okay, you guys. Now, me, I'm more of a nursing home type individual. I like investigating nursing homes, old abandoned buildings. So you come across people that actually will understand what this ball is saying. I mean, because back in my day, we watched cartoons on Saturdays.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Bugs Bunny, Tweety Bird, old classic cartoons. We don't get up and jump on our phones like they do today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and we have old music. Now, this ball has all of that. So when it's activated, it'll probably say, "What's up, Doc?"
Oh.
It will say, "Putty tat," or it will sing a certain song from those eras back in the day.
Interesting.
And believe it or not, we've been hella successful with this ball. The only problem, the only bad thing is it doesn't shut up. It keeps going, and the good thing about it is, okay, those cat balls, once they're done, they're done.
Yeah.
Not this one. It's got two little screws. You can unscrew it, put new batteries in it, and you're good to go. You're good to go. Yeah. So I'm just telling you guys that, I'm trying to be
The future.
the future of paranormal investigating.
We have to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you guys to involve. I mean, I want you guys to have these things on your heads, with, army fatigues, those military boots. Hey, I want you guys to walk into an investigation like you guys are the military.
Well,
But
I don't know
Armed
if
and
that's
ready.
their style.
but not having those 21st century equipment in your hand. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I have, nobody has. You know what I'm saying? I got LED rods. Now, people talking about these new LED lights that are motion detected. I have the rods. Now, what we did is, in order for us, we actually suckered one of our team members to get into a square. And we put each LED rod into that square. And we talked to spirits. And, and when these spirits actually communicate, they communicate with different rods. You got a red and blue one over here. You got a green and red one over there. You got an orange and white one in the back of you, and you got a green and orange one in front of you. So if you light these things up, and everybody will see how pretty these things are, then people will come and communicate with you using those. And they're cool as heck, man. I mean, I'll probably spend $12 on each one of those. And it's battery operated. And it comes out with some of the prettiest colors. Whatever you put together, it all depends on what color that you want. I can show you, for an example, on this one. This is my doorstop. It has green, orange, and white. I'll put this, since you guys do residential investigation. What is the first thing that you guys say when you're in a residential and you're in a room by yourself?
Well, we don't usually go in a room by ourselves. We usually have another team member with us.
Okay.
So corroborate what's going on
Yeah.
and stuff.
Now, so the first question is there anybody in here that want to speak to me?
Right.
Let's throw that out the window. Boosh, it's gone. We're not going to use that no more. What we're going to say is there anybody that would like to step in the room with us? Now, anybody that comes into a room have to cross this, and it's activated. So once it's activated, there's somebody's in that room with you. And don't get me wrong, you can go back to the motion balls, and deal with that. But having this in front of the door with the door open and something comes in, I mean, dude, that is so cool. And they ever to see, you know what? I have spirits play with this. They go back and forth just to see the lights drop, just to see the lights come on. And I'm like, I have to tell them, hey, if you guys don't stop, I'm gonna turn that light off.
just like you're threatening your kids.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I tried. I really like this thing, and I've really been successful with it. And it's you charge it up, and you're able to do whatever. It's like a giant cat ball. I hate to say it, but this one here is a little. It takes a little bit more time. Now, just a little bit more effort to activate it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We sometimes, I mean, we usually put something in the doorway sometimes, but it's not anything
Yeah, that
really
goes
long
clear
like
across.
that.
Motion detectors. We do have long lights of LED, strings of them that we can put out, tape down to the floor and stuff, and things can go across.
I want to try those. I mean, I've yet to try them. I would love to try them
They're
and
pretty
see
neat.
how it works.
Yeah, they work pretty well. Yeah.
Because I've seen people use those on stairs.
Yeah.
I
So
like
I would-
that though. That's easy to carry. I mean, you could carry it with you around the place. You could
Mhm.
easily set it in the door. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
You're telling us all this stuff, but then you say we can't get it. So
You're just teasing us.
yeah, what is it?
That's what I tell them all the time.
Is,
I tell them that all the time.
Look at this
Big
stuff.
equipment tease.
is G14 classified?
Yeah. That's what he tells me too all the time, guys. He tells me that all the time too.
We already know what it
G14
is.
classified. Hey guys, are you guys now Kansas,
Yeah.
Midwest? Sits in the middle of I don't know how many military bases are in Kansas. There's a
Even there, there's a lot of prisons too.
yeah, a lot of prisons.
Yeah.
Yeah, Junction
Now-
City and
Fort Scott and
Fort
Are
Scott,
you
quite a few.
now? Are you guys ufologists also? Do you guys investigate UFO phenomenon also?
Not really. I've got a master's in biology too, and so I look for cryptids and things. I've got a cryptid, Kansas cryptids and other strange critters on Facebook and on our website. But we don't really.
She's got the
I mean,
cryptid.
we've got Terry, or one member she was from Roswell, lived down there for a while, and so she's real interested in it.
Cool.
Yeah.
so we just don't get that many reports of that here. We do get reports of like black cats, like giant black cats and
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, Dogman, all of those things.
So you tell me you guys see there's reports of Bigfoot in the Midwest
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
in the plains?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's
Bigfoot.
heavily wooded areas here, so
Yeah, eastern Kansas is very heavily wooded. Eastern and southern Kansas goes all into Oklahoma and down into Texas and Louisiana. That whole strip right through there is extremely heavily wooded.
I mean,
Sounds behind your house too. Haven't
Yeah,
you?
I got a Bigfoot call behind my house several years ago.
Your problem. Jeez.
oh really?
Yeah.
Wow. Tell me, are you? You know, each state has their own. Texas has their own. I mean, 51 states. Tell me a little bit about your urban legends in Kansas.
Get my coffee cup in there, the black one, and put some.
What's the bridge doing?
I'd say there's the bird bridge, but it's not an urban
That's
legend.
Yeah, I can tell you about one at home. It's not really an urban legend. It's true. There was a Reverend Bird, and he had an affair with his secretary.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's everywhere.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
anyway, she lived behind my folks, and quite often her 2-year-old babies would be walking around the streets
Oh,
because she was busy with somebody.
oh.
Well, anyway, what happened was one night he enticed his wife, I knew, out to this bridge. It was called Rocky Ford Bridge at the time. And he enticed her out there with a bottle of wine and stuff and got her out there. And then he beat her up and knocked her off. Yeah,
I've got chills. Yeah.
knocked her off of the bridge, which was quite a ways down. And to get to the bridge, there's a very high hill like this that kind of goes around a curve to get to the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And he took her car and ran it down and down into the water. So she was killed there. And then,
Oh, wow.
yeah, a few months later, the secretary was with her husband way out in the middle of the Flint Hills, nobody around, with their kids. And she said she had to throw up. And so she was driving, took the keys out, went to throw up, and left the keys out there. Said to her husband, "Would you please go out and get the keys?" He went out there, and somebody from nowhere just showed up in a mask and shot him and killed him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so both of them ended up going to prison. The bridge is now called Bird Bridge because of some people say that she is still down there and you can hear her. I don't really investigate that because I knew her and I kind of personal. But there was a movie about that. It was called Murder Ordained, which I had my rear end in, just as a note.
Or best side.
Yeah, not my best side. Rude. Really rude. But that's a local thing, but it's not really a urban legend.
That's not a legend at all. That's real.
Yeah,
That's a real
that
thing,
is
yeah.
real. But we've got a place that's called the Devil's Seat,
Chair.
Devil's Chair. It's in a cemetery.
But it's up away from the cemetery, though. You have to go up into the woods.
Yeah. There's several bridges that have all kinds of things that if you go out there and call a name, somebody will come get you and stuff like that. But
It's like they call it a children's cemetery that's out in the middle of a wooded area. And the legend is if you leave, you'll have children's handprints all over your car. Newsflash, it doesn't do that, but at least the one time we went, but
we've got things like that. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yes,
Rest in peace.
yeah, for
Rest in
sure.
peace, Humble King.
Yeah.
Humble Singh.
Embassy?
Humble Singh.
Embassy? Okay. So how many of y'all are married?
I am. Well, I don't know how many on the team are.
Well, you, Vanessa, Terry,
Kathy,
Kathy.
Annette, several.
And they have no problem with their families doing what they do.
Some of them have their spouse on the team.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Right.
Three
Yeah.
couples on the team. Yeah.
My husband's not on the team, and I wouldn't say that he was a true believer. He was a pretty big skeptic before I was on the team, and I would come home and tell him stories, and if there was evidence I was able to share, I would share with him. But hi, Justin. Nice to meet you too. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Justin.
Acting like I read the show. Sorry. But now he is a believer. I mean, he sometimes he's like, I think you brought something home. The lights are coming on and off in the bedroom at night or something. So, yeah.
Bad weather. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. No big deal.
Say it's probably your wiring, honey. So,
All clear.
Tell him don't worry about it. He'd be all right. I mean, no problem. Now, guys, we've talked about everything. Do you guys believe that cemeteries are a place for the resting, or do you think something really goes on there every now and then?
I find it really difficult to believe that a spirit would hang out with the body, but I've gotten an awful lot of evidence in cemeteries. So I really don't know what to say about that.
I think maybe lost souls, maybe spirits that don't realize that they've passed and they're just kind of
Wandering around.
confused. Yeah. That's kind of my thoughts.
Okay.
Possible. I think the activity you see at the cemetery is not from the people that are buried there, but from the people that go there.
Oh, kind of manifests. Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it, yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Because sometimes we can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, would you
That energy, those emotions, and all that energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. They leave that behind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get that echo behind. Yeah,
Kind of like funeral homes.
Yep. exactly.
Unbelievably haunted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like anyone wants to stick around there, though.
Right.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't imagine no one dead would want to go and visit their dead vessel.
Mhm.
I can't imagine that at all.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, really.
No, it doesn't. That's why
But
I came to the conclusion that the activity that we see at cemeteries is the people that are going to see that they're looking for the dead.
Well, that's
Could be.
that's an interesting idea. I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes
I
sense.
never thought about that.
Yeah, makes sense.
We've actually investigated some funeral homes, and in one there was someone that used to work there
Mm-hmm.
that had passed, and he was there. In fact, that was probably one of the first times my friend and I had ever heard a disembodied voice. I mean, like we both heard it, and yeah, that was pretty crazy.
I know that I've been to a lot of morgues in the basement of hospitals.
hmm
Now, the energy there from the people who died, of course, they died during surgery, died, coming into the hospital emergency room or whatever. So you do experience some activity in those morgues, but it's fleeting. It's fleeting. It's not spirits that resonate there and stay there unless they work there.
Right.
Like you said, when you went in there, you went to the morgue, when you went to the mortuary, the funeral home, you experienced someone that used to work there. That was somewhere they worked every day for
Yeah.
probably several years.
They
So
were
it's like they were just keeping their routine, going to work, pretty much.
Well,
So,
someone else that worked there said they kept hearing him throw like pens and stuff into his like pencil cup or whatever. And he
Yeah.
said that he would do that all the time, but he would hear him. He'd be upstairs and he would hear like that happening. So
yeah.
Okay. Do all of you guys live in the same city?
No, not all of us.
No. Okay. Who lives the farthest?
oh yeah.
Probably Terry.
Well,
Annette.
Annette
Annette is
Guinea.
in Wichita. Her and her husband,
Mhm.
and then Terry and her husband are in. It's a little small town outside of.
Atchison?
No,
Abilene.
Abilene. They
Abilene.
both started.
Y'all have
So-
an Abilene too?
Huh?
Y'all have an Abilene too?
Yep,
Yeah,
we have
Abilene,
Abilene.
Kansas.
Abilene,
It was
Kansas.
a
Old
wild
cow
place.
town, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Wichita was too.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
we have an old cow town in Wichita that they have
Yeah.
haunted tours in all
It's like
the
an
time.
amusement park now, sort of.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. Hey, they got a cow town and an Abilene.
Yeah,
Oh,
we do.
crazy.
Dodge City's a big cow town too.
That's what we call Fort Worth.
Yeah.
We call Fort Worth cow town because it's where the cattle, that big
Wow.
cattle thing is over there.
Oh,
Hey, what does your community think about you guys doing the paranormal invest? Being who you are.
Overall, I think we're very well accepted. We do things for the city and for the community all the time, fundraisers and
We're in parades and
we're in parades and doing all kinds of things we can for the community. We are starting next month the very first spirit fair in this
Nice.
area. Let me see, what else do we have? We've got
we help with the haunted tours in October through
Yeah.
Main Street.
We do presentations at libraries and
Help raise money for places because, of course, we don't charge for any of our investigations, but we've helped raise money to help a place that was for women.
shelter.
Yeah, women's shelter here in town, and then an old elementary school that they were trying to help save in Chase County, and just different things like
We've done
that.
lots of trainings. We have a very, very old theater here called the Granada Theater, and we did an interactive
Movie experience.
movie experience. young
Nice.
Frankenstein. We all dressed up like the characters and
Oh, that's nice.
threw water out the
That's
people and did
fun.
all kinds of fun stuff. So we try to get ourselves very much involved with the community.
Okay.
Before the movie, though, we did do an investigation there, and we presented our evidence on the findings before we showed the movie that night. So that was
That is cool. Let's talk about Hollywood for a minute, guys. What do you guys think about Hollywood?
I bet it's really haunted.
oh man,
It is really haunted.
Yeah, I've been
I
around for a
couldn't
long.
imagine.
What do you guys think about all the paranormal? All the
What do you think
just
about the
all the
famous
paranormal stuff that comes out.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about those shows?
Yeah,
Well,
like Zach Bacon's and all his stuff.
one of the first things we tell our clients when we go on investigation, this is not going to be like TV.
Yeah.
This is not, TV is not necessarily reality. So we're not going to like jump around and yell and scream,
Yeah.
and there's not going to be things flying all the time. And
Even reality TV is not like real TV.
right,
Real-
right.
Right.
What
It's
you're
still
going
not
to
scripted, yeah.
different.
It's gonna be boring.
You're going to wait a lot.
lots of boring parts and where nothing happens.
Yep.
So I think they're great for like looking at different techniques and equipment and things like that. But it's not necessarily it's not how it shakes out on a real investigation.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you
Who's your
think that?
favorite? Go
Do you
ahead.
think that hurts you? Do you think that hurts paranormal investigators as a whole for comparing to
Ooh.
Hollywood because they have these super cameras that are $100,000 cameras?
Right,
We're using the $500 cameras.
right,
They have
right.
excellent lighting, even though it's supposed to be in pitch dark. They have these infrared and thermal cameras that most people don't have.
That we
Thermal
can't
cameras
afford.
anyway. Yeah, you got like military grade thermal. They got military grade thermal cameras. It's like amazing. Like those are
know.
cameras. It's like wow. I wish I had just one of those.
Me
There-
too.
There is a phone that's out now, private. I don't know who puts it out, but it's got infrared and thermal.
And IR.
In
You
it,
can
and
get
IR
you
in
can
the
get
phone.
apps. You can get apps, but they can.
I don't
flip
know
out.
if I trust the
This
app.
has
that
the
much.
lenses.
I wouldn't
specific
either, but
lenses.
they can flip out on you too. So even if you're using it on a camera, it's still not the same quality compared to what
Right.
they
No,
can.
no, no.
You know,
We just don't have the funding.
nowhere near the funding.
My thoughts on the movies about the paranormal are I think it gets a lot of people interested in wanting to start their own paranormal group, but I think they're more interested in the excitement of it and looking for dark stuff.
The jump scares.
Yes, yes. And that's really not what we're about at all. You know, you shouldn't go looking for trouble if there's not any.
Some paranormal investigators do go looking
No.
for trouble.
And that's something we also tell our clients is we don't provoke. We don't provoke any spirits. I mean, that's a no for our team. We
I watched
are
a new
respectful.
show that first time I'd ever seen it before, and this guy was really provoking the spirits, like really harshly,
That's
cursing
rude.
at them, yelling at them.
No.
It bothered me so bad. It hit me
There
so
were
deep.
people.
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
mean, would you treat your
person-
grandma like that? You know?
and when his spirit came at him hard, he automatically deemed that spirit to be evil. I'm like, oh, dude, no, that you
No.
provoked the guy.
It was just pissed off.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think people realize that when they go in provoking spirits that way, that when the spirit reacts and they say, oh, it's an evil spirit. No,
Well, yeah, make you mad.
I would get mad if somebody did
Yeah.
that. To me.
Yeah.
Someone comes into your house and starts.
Exactly.
It's like,
Exactly.
I would be pissed.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
It's not being respectful at all.
And I don't
No.
know. So I think too, the younger investigators as well, they do a lot of provoking too. I think they miss that idea that I think we all were raised to, don't speak ill of the dead,
Yeah.
and
Well-
show respect for the dead.
I think that's a lot of what they see on TV, though, too, is the paranormal
You're right.
people that go in and provoke, you
Mhm.
know, cough, cough, you know who I'm talking about. But, and that's not how it should be done at all. But they see that, so they want to copy and emulate that because they want the big scares like what they see on TV. And that's not how it should be.
No, somebody can get hurt.
Yeah,
Yes.
true. That's true. You don't know what you might be inviting out or
Yeah,
your own
exactly.
negativity. So
Mhm.
Yeah, we can all say that Hollywood has its ups and downs.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's so many bad actors out there, man. So many bad paranormal investigators that are just in it just for the ratings, just to keep their TV show and all that stuff. I always come to find out the best liable source for true investigating is YouTube.
Some.
I've seen some of the best paranormal investigators that has the best complete evidence that I've ever seen comes off YouTube.
Hmm.
And
Ordinary people, not people that are in it for the ratings.
yeah, just ordinary people just happen to come across something just by luck. You know what I'm saying? Because you can actually be investigating. I mean, that's what paranormal investigating is about. There's no way that you can just by chance or just, oh man, there's a ghost right there.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Right.
It don't work like that. So
No, it doesn't.
So everything is by chance when we're investigating.
Right. Because sometimes there's an area that's supposed to be active and we go in there and it's like there's nothing, it's a dead night. Or you think it is until you listen to your audio later and then you hear some little things that, yeah.
It gets self.
Yeah. An old razor phone.
As a,
A razor phone?
this has a
Nice.
razor phone?
Nice.
New?
Yeah.
They still make those?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, there's a whole new line coming out.
Wow.
Really? Wow. See, I broke my
Retro.
razor.
Some of those phones are coming back.
Don't tell me that.
Everything comes back around eventually.
Well, they say everything goes in circles.
That's
That's
right.
right.
I can remember when I was in high school and I wore remember those cutoff jeans we used to wear at the thighs? Like they got built by a dog. Those got the kids tonight.
Motor shorts. Yeah.
Yeah, the kids today think they invented that.
No,
Nah,
you didn't.
they've been around forever.
Actually, they've been around. Actually,
Remember how we
yeah.
used to hate wearing bell-bottom pants all the time? Remember that?
Oh, of course.
And now bell-bottoms is like all the rave. You're like, what?
Hey, man, you get a couple of people.
Like, what?
Michael Daisley comes back.
Exactly.
Hey, you get a couple of people with bell bottoms on and spread them across the street. You can kiss that street sweeper. Just retire that, man, and just get.
Love it.
Yeah, I love it.
So
That
long
is-
that the bottoms are frayed and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are those ankle choker pants, where they're like, you're like walking in a flood, your hem of your pants is so high up above your ankle, you can walk in a flood and you
yeah,
won't get
high waters.
Yeah. High waters.
high waters.
Those stirrup
Exactly.
pants.
I love
They're
stirrup pants.
I was teaching
Those
when
are my favorite.
I started teaching when stirrup pants were in, and yeah, I had a lot of those. I remember, I was in high school in the 80s, the early 80s, and so now it's like when the high schoolers now are like having throwback eras and they dress up for the 80s. It's like everything is like hot pink and they're looking like, Jane Fonda or someone.
She said Jane Fonda.
That's not how we dressed. We were like nerds,
Exactly.
We had the dresses with the huge collars and the puffy sleeves.
The polo shirts.
The sweaters with all the hearts across them.
Oh yeah.
Leg warmers.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
And we had-
that's how it is in the movies, but not in real life. That's not how it was.
and had some of the best music ever.
Amen.
You can never change the music will be the best since the 40s.
We have the best music ever. We had the best
60s,
music
70s.
ever. Our generation had the best music ever. Growing up in the 80s, we had the best music. It don't
Yes,
get no
we
better
did.
than that music.
Especially the early mid 80s. Near
Yes.
the end, it was
Yes.
And
but,
you had
but
90s.
70s also. In fact, I was
Yeah,
listening to
70s
the
too.
70s
70s
station
too,
on
yeah.
my car radio this week.
Yep.
Well, I'm sorry, guys. I'm more of a big band guy. I like big band music.
What? Big band.
Yeah, big band.
Yeah.
Do you know what big band music is?
Oh
No.
yeah, my goodness, yeah.
No?
Gorgeous.
How you don't know what big band? Big band is when you had
String of
big
pearls.
band. Yeah, you had multiple instruments.
Well, okay,
Um,
you have multiple instruments in the regular bands too. Nobody
Yeah.
played them.
But it was called big band in the 40s.
Oh, you talking about the 40s music? No, I don't like that music.
I love that music.
Duran or something like that. But
I mean, I like that too.
40s.
Oh, yeah.
Joplin and the Beatles and everybody.
Yeah, the Beatles.
Joplin.
Joplin. Janis Joplin, yeah.
Well, she'd still be alive if she wouldn't do drugs.
Well,
Jimi Hendrix.
yeah, we lost Hendrix and her and the guy in the Doors, all three
The
of them.
Doors, yes. The
For
Police,
a couple of years.
Yes. yes. All these good. Those were good bands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good music.
Even Guns N' Roses. I love Guns N' Roses too.
Oh, me too. I love me some Guns.
Oh,
N'
I
Roses.
love them.
What I like about the old music is that it was them and their instruments. It
Exactly.
wasn't all this other artificial stuff thrown in.
Yeah, if I could pick up my laptop and show it at you guys, and I was like, this is what creates music today.
Yeah,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and
it's real talent.
IA is coming
Everything
in
is stolen. Everything is stolen. The lyrics are stolen from an old song.
Yeah.
The music is stolen. The chorus is stolen.
Yeah.
It's all
The voices are altered and
yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
it's really hard. I mean,
On your own millennials, you're supposed to be the future, but you ain't creating nothing.
Mm-mm.
Just stealing stuff from the past and redoing it, mashing it up with some other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
hey, that's why I'm trying to do my own thing over here, man. So these guys
There you go.
cannot copy me.
Yeah, well, you're just teasing us with all that good equipment.
yeah. Then
Copy
you got
Hey.
Garrett.
I just want you guys to see what the future is going to look like when we decide, when it's our time to retire from doing this and we hand it down to the next evolution of paranormal investigators. Hopefully, it would be awesome just to watch them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But the one thing that I do, guys, I mean, I do have, and I would never ever take away is from my arsenal of equipment is the little what is it called? The damn the voice thing where you can hold it. It's like a big circle. And I know people don't use them anymore, but they are so cool. They call
Oh, like the amplifier thing?
yeah.
I mean,
I
like
actually-
11 or something.
No, it looks like a cop with a speed trap thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
I know.
symbolic, or I forgot what those things are called.
Kenny and them used one once.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hyperbolic.
Yeah. I've
Was it
I
hyperbolic?
made a great big one for Bigfoot hunting.
Yeah, and dude, I managed to, because on those things, normally you can only get like 3 minutes of video on that. But parabolic. Thank you, Curtis.
Yeah.
Thank you, Curtis. because I could never get that thing right. My man Curtis, yeah, the parabolic. Thank you, Thank you, Mr. Curtis. Yeah, Justin is a part of my team, man. He's really been helped with this. Yeah, a parabolic.
Parabolic. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I would never take that away because it
I'm
amplifies.
halfway there.
Yeah, it amplifies everything when you're listening for EVPs.
Mhm.
And we managed to retrofit it with a voice recorder that can record, because normally those things record for like 3 minutes. Then you gotta download it again, then use it for 3 minutes more, and then so on and so on. But we actually retrofitted that thing to where if it just holds it and it records for hours.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So everything that we pick up, it amplifies the voice, and you're able to hear it clearly. And that's an old school tool, but it works. I don't see many teams using it, but it works. Maybe because they don't know how to retrofit it to make sure that you actually have a good 2, maybe 2.5 hours of record time. I can show you how to do that.
And you gotta filter it all out too, because that thing picks up everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
That reminds me that we've been working with the Estes method a lot on some of our investigations.
All right, who's the victim?
Who's the victim?
Yeah, because don't you got to put that
Yeah.
yeah, who's the victim?
A lot of it is our mediums that
Yeah,
have
that
the
they try to do it.
headphones on and that are listening, and then we're in another room asking questions, and then it's so interesting hearing the words that they say and the questions. It just when it meshes, it's just like, oh, wonderful.
Yeah. We've tried that once, but somebody do something at us, and we all jumped, and we just like stopped. We're not going to do that anymore.
Interesting.
So it didn't turn out well. I mean,
No, it did not. It did not turn out well at all.
Where'd it go?
Huh?
Did it go something big or?
I don't know. Somebody do something at us while we were in that session,
oh, okay.
and we're like, "Uh-oh."
Messing with you?
I
Huh?
didn't like that.
Messing with you?
Yeah, and it scared the hell out of me. I've never had any experience like that where, and then we end up hearing the EVP. I'm like, who threw that? And it says me.
Oh.
I'm like, what the hell? Oh, time to go.
Yeah.
Shut the front door.
It might not have been the Estes method. It might have been anything else you might have done in there. He just wanted you out. But yeah, it was a little skeptical, wanting to do that again.
Oh boy, that is crazy. Yeah, but you know what, guys? A minute and 37 seconds. I mean, an hour and 37 and counting. It felt like we just talked for hours and
Wow. Covered it.
Time flies when you're having fun.
That's
a minute and
right.
37. This is becoming a podcast. Where you guys get a chance to ask us, any questions about our team, the podcast, the cities that we live in. Just feel free to ask us anything, and we can try to answer it to the best of our knowledge.
Okay, well, how big are your teams?
My team is 7. We usually have two investigators and 2 camera techs following those guys around. We just added, hopefully, it depends on the vote, that we can add 2 more team members for somebody that can hold that parabolic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? While our medium is doing what she does.
Uh-huh.
Because, when you have a medium that talks to the unknown, you want to be able to catch that EVP.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, we wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? She was just talking, and we just had the camera. and which
Right.
wasn't working, but my wife bought me that, that parabolic, and I'm like, well, damn, let's retrofit this and see if it works, and it works fine. You know what I'm saying? So we're
That
able
makes
to,
sense that you're also getting people in just to do equipment. And yeah,
yeah.
that's
I can't have it any other way, dude. I mean, ugh, I
Misty,
gotta have
are you
people.
on his team?
Oh no,
No, you're not. Do you have a team?
no,
Nope. Okay.
I'm a loner.
So you go out on your own?
Well, not on my own. No, I'm not crazy. No, my sons. I have two sons that are 28 and 26. Go with me. And I'm an empath, psychic, clairvoyant, all the above. And
Cool.
so basically, they're my camera guys and my guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Good.
Because you
good.
never want to do any of this by yourself. That
No.
is not
No, I
safe.
would never even try it. I am too open to the other side to do it by myself. I would never come back if I did.
Oh,
Yeah, you
wow.
have to be.
They would definitely
Yeah.
keep me and hold me hostage.
You don't trespass either. That's a big thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of young people don't pay any attention to that. They find an old abandoned building and think that they can just go in there and do what they want.
Yeah.
Right.
No, no. That's not ever a good idea to go.
No, never.
Never.
I'm scared. I can't
Even
do
though
that.
I wouldn't do it by myself. I've done it by myself but without any equipment with me. Just
Curious.
someone calling me. No, someone calls me.
Oh.
It's like sometimes I'm not even thinking about it and just going about my business, and I get called in, and I have to go when they ask me. I have to go, and then it's a personal experience, and it's just me in that spirit or me in those spirits in the place at the time, and helping that spirit get to what they want and what they need at the time when they call me in. But those are very scary incidents because it's like unpredictable, and I can't control it. And it's usually, and 9 times out of 10, it's when I'm out there doing something totally unrelated, like going to get groceries or going to run errands. And I go past a place, either it's a cemetery or mortuary. Somebody just passed away and their body is laying in state there, and I gotta go in and because they're calling me. I'm like, oh God, this is not cool. But sometimes I get so in the zone, I don't consider the fear sometimes, but I've been brought stuff home that way because I'll just go thinking I'm going to talk to this spirit and it'll attach to me, and I won't notice it right away until I get home and things start happening. But thankfully, I have a army of warrior spirits with me when I come home, and they let me know, hey, you brought something home. You need to send it out of here.
Oh, wow.
Great.
That's what we do before any investigation is do protection, white light, all that kind of stuff, and as we leave to make sure we don't take things home. But
Exactly.
it happens every once in a while.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It happens more often than I care to experience it. I tell you that much.
Right?
It's
It
Hey,
doesn't belong there, huh? No, it doesn't belong there.
Now, what is that?
you don't know. It's a spirit you don't know. It's not related to you. It's not anything connected to you. You just went there and interacted with
Well,
it.
you're a good soul, and it sees that you are
Yeah.
an empath, and it just,
Mm-hmm. It sees your door open and it calls at you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And you got to respond to it. I mean, it's either that or it's going to keep bothering you. It's so, it can be annoying, honestly.
Some of our psychics or mediums really have a hard time with
Yeah,
that.
it's hard. It's hard. I've had them follow me home, and it can be something else. It can be not
That's
pleasant.
why we've got each other's back to make sure that if somebody's starting to act oddly during an investigation, we get them out, we talk to them, find out what's going on, and we really try to protect each other in this.
Yeah, and that's very important that you have someone there to let you know that, because sometimes we're not aware when something is on us.
Right, right.
We don't even notice those small little things that we're doing or saying that is kind of out of our character until someone makes us aware. Hey, this is not like you. You
Right.
don't talk like that. You don't speak that
Truly.
way.
Yeah.
No, you're totally. This is not how you are. It's not the person I know. And you'll try to argue with them like, I'm just me. I'm just being me. What are you saying?
Right.
And they have to tell you, hey, you're not being you. You're not you right now. You're not the person I know.
Another good reason not to ever go, why we don't split up and go places alone. We always go with.
But sometimes you don't even try to go places alone. But like I can be going out on an errand and
Yeah,
just
you
Well, yeah,
can't
that's
help it
true.
sometimes.
driving
Yeah,
by a graveyard or driving by, and it's crazy. I used to live by this two very, very large graveyards, and it was two mortuaries down the street as well.
Goodness
And
sakes.
I would go for my
you ever
run.
get any
in the
sleep?
morning. Not well all the time.
Oh Lord.
I would go for runs every morning, and something attached to me a couple times just going out for a run. I wasn't even trying to
Wow.
look at anything or get involved with the spirit, but something attached to me anyway and kept coming home with me. And I was like, look, I don't know you, dude. I don't know why you're here.
Yeah.
Go. I'm not
Have
doing
you
it.
ever, do you wear any, crystals or any stones or anything? Do you use those? Yeah, doesn't always work.
Yeah. Yeah, I wear my crystals. Well, I didn't at first because I have a very different pH balance. My pH balance is different from most people. So I couldn't wear any jewelry because when I start sweating, the jewelry is no good anymore. It changes its whole dynamic.
Mhm.
So I couldn't wear jewelry while I'm working out or anything like that. And then I had to oh crap, I got to figure out something. So I kept trying different things, and I finally decided that I'm going to just make some leather band necklaces out of leather instead of using metals because metals would not work on my skin. So got me some crystals, and now I hang them on a metal necklace,
Good
a leather
idea.
band necklace now instead of using just a metal one because metals it would just irritate me and give me a rash, and
Mhm.
it didn't work.
Yeah. Or even put some in your pockets or,
Yeah, I would, but that sometimes when you get up in the morning, you go for a run, you don't think about grabbing,
Right.
That's true.
Gotta
Grabbing
load
your
myself
stuff.
down with crystals just in case
stick it in
someone wants to hitchhike back
somewhere.
home.
Yeah, I have a couple of bras that I've sewn in my onyx into my bra, so
That's cool.
into my sports bra, so that way I don't have to look for something to put in me before I go for a run. Because sometimes I just want to go and hurry up and do it and come back and get my day started and not worry about it. But you never know what you're going to run across, so you never know. And because I'm just a beacon for these things
You are.
and just attract them so much that I don't try it. They just see me, whether I see them or not, and they come at me. So
Yeah. Well, like you said,
Gotta
you're
do
a
it
beacon.
how
You're
they-
low out there, and they come to you.
yep.
Well,
Yep.
Hey
Exactly.
guys. Well, yeah, if you guys ever just by chance see a junkyard, stop and investigate it.
We found an old airplane graveyard that we want to investigate a lot.
Around
Because
here.
There's hundreds and hundreds of airplanes out there, and I can't imagine the stories that they have.
oh yeah, you're right. And I've heard so many stories about haunted junkyards.
Mhm.
Cars.
Cars, and stuff like that.
Cars.
It's just crazy on how. I got a friend of mine who works at a junkyard, and he can't keep employees there,
Really?
especially after night.
Wow. I've
You
never
know,
really
when-
thought of that before.
Yeah, especially when it's a wreck, and this one here is actually it's a police impound, but that's where you go to put all the cars that were in a wreck.
Right.
And Dude, he will not step a foot into that damn junkyard. I like, dude, why, man? Because
Wow.
there's too much stuff going on in there.
Have you
Yeah.
investigated it?
No, no. I've thought about it, but I like, no. I kind of put it on my need to do list, but I really, we've been so busy. I never even. I mean, I will eventually, but not at this moment. No.
Right.
I have been in a haunted car before,
Wow.
and that is no fun.
Mm.
Another Christine.
Man, they put Christine to shame, bro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Another Christine.
You're talking about a car you cannot control, nothing in it.
Oh,
Not
wow.
the windows, not the radio, not the brakes, not the gas. The car just has a whole mind of its own.
Oh, wow.
Were you driving or was someone else driving?
My daughter was driving it first. I actually bought the car for her.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
And she was like, Mom, something's
Well,
wrong with
thanks,
this
Mom.
car.
Mhm.
It wouldn't start for her for nothing. Whenever she tried to drive it, every time she tried to go somewhere, it would just die on her. And I'm like, what are you doing to the car? She's like, Mom, I don't know what's wrong with this car. This car is crazy. That's what, look, I had a whole lemon check on that car. That car is nothing wrong with that car mechanically. She's like, no, something really wrong with this car, Mom. Seriously. I'm like, okay, let me look at the car again. And I looked at that car. I went for drives in it. And the radio would just change. It's a digital radio, and it would just changing stations constantly. But it would stay on a station for one word. And when it first did it, I didn't pay attention to it. I'm like, this thing has just got a short. It's what I'm thinking. You try to rationalize it first before you start
Right.
doing paranormal. You think, okay, let me debunk it. Let me rationalize this. It's got a blown fuse or something, right? That's what it is. Looking at the fuse box, I'm like, oh, it ain't that. Let me look at the wiring. No, that ain't the wiring. The wiring looks good. And then I started paying more close attention to it. It was landing on the radio stations when it's one word was being said on one channel, then it was making a whole sentence the whole time.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, okay,
Oh,
time to sell this car.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
Bye.
And funny thing is, I don't know what kind of energy and what happened in that car. I know that it had been in a front end accident, but it wasn't significant. So I don't think no one died in it. It wasn't like a total front end total, but something was in that car that the window would start going down when I was on the highway, and I'm like, oh no,
Mm.
stop it, just stop.
Wonder if it could have been something before the previous owner.
I think it was something. I think someone died in the car, but it wasn't through an accident. They were probably trying to get them to the hospital, and they didn't make it.
Mm.
Yeah, and it was a younger person, a much younger person, like in their early teens.
Mm.
that's sad.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. And the funny thing is, I couldn't even get nobody to buy the dang thing, so I had to end up selling a perfectly good car to the junkyard.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
I
crazy.
lost money on that, but it was a heck of an experience though. But my daughter wouldn't drive it anymore, so I'm like, I'm not gonna drive it.
I'm not going to drive it.
It's gotta go. I'm like,
I'm not going to drive it. All right, hey guys, we're going on an hour and 52:49. And hold on,
hold on, Terry.
there's something.
Virgil.
Let me post that.
Yeah, you can post it.
Spirits of the dead,
fairies.
fallen angels.
Fairies are not spirits of the dead. Fairies are fairies.
Yeah, they're a whole different being.
They're a whole different species. Yeah, they are. They're different. And it's very dear to English and Irish folklore. It is.
Native Americans also have a
Yep.
deep belief in fairies and other small people.
And they are benevolent beings. They are. They really are.
Speaking of Native Americans, what do they think about you guys? Have you come across any of them?
Well, one's on our team. We've got an Apache. Terry is an Apache. She's one of our mediums. I don't know that we've really come in contact with many Native Americans.
We have some, that one place down by Wichita, they were on the land. They're one of the first
You mean the
investigations.
spirits?
Yeah.
Oh, well, as far as spirits,
I thought that's what he meant.
I thought
You mean the Native American spirits or? Yeah.
Oh.
spirits.
Okay.
Yeah, Terry's not a spirit.
She's real. She's alive.
Yeah, we've run into Native American spirits quite a few times, and we try to appease and come in peace and
Leave offerings.
Leave
Offerings
offerings.
and gifts and
there's a cemetery Brandy and I went down to. We were going to the Bigfoot conference in Texas, and we stopped in
was McManus Cemetery.
it's Tahlequah, Oklahoma, which is the capital for the Cherokee.
Cherokee Nation.
And there's a cemetery out there that was in a book written by a ghost hunter up in Kansas City. He and his team went down and explored that area down there for lots of different reasons. But he had mentioned the cemetery several times. And Brandy and I were there. And when we went to the cemetery, I offered tobacco and other things. And we went in, investigated, came back out, and crows are very important to me. And I was putting the equipment up into the trunk, and there was a crow feather right there. And I said, "Thank you for the gift."
Mm-hmm.
I got an EVP from somebody there, a male, saying thank you for the gift. It was just really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a special affinity towards birds. Us Native American people. I'm Saponi Cherokee, and birds. Terry, I tell you, I have birds always knocking on my door.
I wasn't gonna bring that up.
I brought it up for you because I want to get hit on that before you started it. Birds knock on my door every morning.
Really?
Every
Yeah.
morning.
That's really neat.
Wow.
That's cool. Are they blessing you for the day?
You know, it's funny. They come and deliver messages from the other side. So it just depends. Sometimes it's to give me a warning. You know, don't drive today. Ride your bike. Ride your electric scooter. You know, do something else, but don't drive because something bad's going to happen. And sure enough, you know, if I don't drive, then there's an accident right in front of my house.
Oh dear.
Like a whole car knocked like 2 blocks by a truck. I'm like,
So they're protecting you.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
spirit animals or
Yeah.
spirit guide.
Yeah, they're like my spirit animal. Ravens are one of my spirit animals. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the raven and the wolf.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, well, guys, I know you guys got things to do. I really appreciate you guys coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, when are you
Thank
going to
you.
send us some of your equipment?
We're going to expect a gift box here pretty soon with some of your goodies in it.
All right, well, I'll make a deal with you. You send me milk and cookies, I will send you a gift box.
All right.
Thank you for
guys
taking
very,
time out
very
on Father's
much.
Day to do a podcast with us. We appreciate it so much.
We
Thank
really
you so
appreciate
much.
it. Hey, before you guys leave, please tell the world how to get a hold of you
Oh,
Okay.
in case they want to come up and investigate with you guys.
of course.
Okay. We have a website, Flint Hills Paranormal, and on that I have the Kansas Cryptids piece in there. You can go on Facebook, Flint Hills Paranormal, also Kansas Cryptids and Other Strange Critters. We have Haunted Kansas, and right now, because of our Spirit Fair that's coming up, we have a Spirit Fair Facebook too, so they can get to meet the mediums and the other folks that will be there. We also have an Instagram page and a YouTube page.
All
So-
under Flint Hills Paranormal.
So you can find us about anywhere.
All right. You guys got an Instagram?
Yes,
Yep.
Flint Hills Paranormal.
Okay. Well, hey, guys. Hey, please reach out to these young ladies. If you guys are ever up in the Kansas area, stay away from that darn toll road that I guess it circles the state. I don't know.
The Kansas
through.
Turnpike. the
Goes
Turnpike.
through.
Yeah.
I got trapped in that damn thing when I was in Wichita one day.
Yeah, you have to know where to get off.
But yeah, hey guys, it has been a pleasure. I really appreciate you guys taking your time out, to come on the show. I really appreciate it. Hey, you guys feel free to share this with all your friends and followers and everybody. I got one last comment before we get out of here. Let me see if I can get back into her. Man, I don't know. Hold up. Okay. All right. Well, I guess it wasn't important. All right. Well, thank you, Virgil. I would appreciate that, man. If you would do that for us. 3,000. That's a lot of people.
Very nice.
Oh, well, that's great. That's great.
That's a lot of people. If you can share that on the other side of the pond, I will appreciate it, brother. All right, guys. Hey, it's been a pleasure. I really appreciate it. Any last remarks before we get out of here?
Oh, we just love meeting you guys. Yeah, come get on any of our Instagrams, Facebooks, whatever. We love to communicate with the folks out there.
All right, man. Hey, next time I talk to you guys, I want hats on all of y'all.
All right, we'll have hats for
We'll
sure.
remember next time.
Hey, guys, this is NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. Hey, man, another great show. I got another great show next weekend. Hey, I would love to see you guys back on the show. So maybe next time we can have all the team.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. Maybe you could share some of those stories, that you guys don't know of and other team members have kept it silent. You never know. All right. Hey, guys, you guys enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you.
Bye.
And gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 9, 8, 7, 6,